Welcome to the Knakal News Network. Knakal News Network is brought to you by Massey Knakal Realty Services, New York's #1 building sales firm.
Hi, I'm John Hageman, Sales Team Manager of Massey Knakal. Welcome to the Knakal News Network. Today I'm here with Bob Knakal, Chairman of Massey Knakal. Bob, we frequently talk about the traits that you believe can make a broker successful, one of those being time management. Can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that?
50% of the time that people are at work, they're actually not working. They're doing things other than work. They're reading personal emails, reading the paper, doing things that aren't work related. So I think one of the biggest fallacies that people have is they believe that when they're at work, that they're actually working, and that's not the case. So it's very, very important to make the most of the time that you're spending away from your family, away from your recreation, away from your community, away from the other things that we all try to balance out in life. Time management really is life management. It's really personal management. And time management has more to do with the sequencing of events than anything. And in terms of the sequencing of events, the most important thing is to do the most important things first.
Bob, one of the things you mentioned is you can't save time. That seems counterintuitive to me.
Well, what I mean is you can't save time. What you can do is just spend time differently. You can't create more time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in which to do something with. And I think that one of the most important things to learn in terms of trying to focus on the most important things is to stop doing things you shouldn't be doing. So when we talk about creative abandonment, you're going to stop doing things. It's almost as if you should make a not-to-do list as opposed to a to-do list. You know, the famous German philosopher Goethe said that the most important things should never be at the mercy of things that are less important.
How do you define what's important?
Well, I think you have to look at what the consequences are of what you do. And when you take into consideration consequences, it becomes much more easy to determine what's important and what you should be working on versus what you can stop doing. I think if you look at most people and you ask them, how much money do you make? Most people say, well, I make $50,000 a year, or I make X dollars a year. And the most successful people in the world think about how much money they make every hour. And they try to maximize what they make every hour. And if you started thinking that way, if you make $50,000 a year and you work 50 weeks a year, 8 hours a day, you're earning $25 an hour. If you looked at your time and said, I earn $25 an hour, and if what I'm doing in this hour, am I earning my $25? Am I not? If you started to look at your time and valued every hour you'd have, you would use that time very, very differently.
You identified that the most important things you should be working on are those that have the highest consequences. How do you stay focused on those?
That's very hard. It's very hard because you have to be very disciplined about it. The discipline helps you overcome the two biggest enemies of lifelong success and personal productivity. And those are your comfort zone and the path of least resistance. It's funny how human beings fall into a comfort zone. They're comfortable doing the same thing over and over, even if that thing is not working for them. And the path of least resistance are the things that are fun to do, easy to do, you enjoy doing, but may not be the most important things for you to do. If you look at all of the books that have been written on time management and business, they are all trying to answer one question, and that is, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? And if you're able to identify the most important things and focus on them and keep working at them until those jobs are done, then you can conquer the world. In summary, time management appears to be an oxymoron, as you can't manage time and you can't save time. You can only manage yourself and spend your time more differently. Identifying the things that are most important and focusing on them gives you the ability to maximize your personal productivity and leads to a lifelong success path. If you can identify the most important things to you and focus on them, you can conquer the world.
Thank you for joining us today. Tune in next week for another installment on the Knakal News Network.